My name is Twanisha Mitchell. I'm the manager of social justice programs at the YWCA National Capital Area, and the YWCA happens to be a partner organization of the Anti-Street Harassment Initiative for 2012.
So today you are going to be focusing on initiatives within the DC area that people can do to help eliminate street harassment.
That's correct.
Wonderful. What are a few things that men can do specifically? The guys out there watching this program and they're like, you know what, I want to do something right now. I'm super pumped. This isn't right. And I want to create an action right now. What can they do?
Yeah. I think men have a lot more power than they realize to be advocates around this cause. You don't necessarily have to be a woman to advocate around this. So first and foremost, I would definitely say be a role model. There's great power in being able to teach a young boy, a young person, mentor a young person at an early age about what it actually means to respect a woman. Some of the ways that are, some of the things that are appropriate to say to a young woman. Those things are very important. Show a young person through your actions, that street harassment is not okay. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, I would say bystanders have power as well. So if you're actually witnessing harassment taking place, don't be afraid to actually step in and say something, even if it's as simple as approaching the woman that's being harassed and saying, are you okay? Because just something as simple as that can deter a harasser from doing what they're doing. And if there's some issues about intervening and you're concerned about safety issues, then of course then you can then report it to an authority figure, a police person or an employer. Just those simple acts can help someone realize that they don't have to feel alone in this, and it can go a long way in helping this. And lastly, I would say join or even start your own organization. That does work in this area because, as the saying goes, there is power in numbers. And so being actively involved in organizations that are taking a stand against street harassment is really the way to go.
And so what are some things that men are doing in DC right now?
Yeah, I just talked about organizations, and actually one that I can think of specifically, an organization called Men Can Stop Rape. They actually work in this area of not only street harassment, but sexual assault. And their whole purpose is really to go out and educate the community about issues around these issues, and really help to mobilize male allies and male advocates around this issue, which is important. So that's their sole purpose. And there are organizations out there that are doing this work, so they can join up with them. That's just one example.
That's great to hear that there are men out there who are involved and that they're going to take a stand towards this and say it's not right, this is what we're going to do about it. That's empowering. Thank you, men. Thank you. Thank you. So what are some things that young girls can do to, if they need help, if they feel like they've been harassed and they've had it, and so they want to either get involved with an initiative or they just don't know the right steps to take to stop it from happening again? What are some things they can do?
Right. Definitely education and awareness is key, I would say. There's so many different forms of social media out there now that people can use to bring awareness to issues that they care about. So that's definitely one thing that they can do, educate themselves and educate each other about this issue, for without awareness there could be no action, right? So that's first and foremost. I think it's also important for young girls to know the laws. It varies from state to state, the laws that are in effect around issues of street harassment. There are fines associated or fines that coincide with certain crimes, street harassment crimes. And so it's important to know the laws of your state so that you could then effectively protect yourself against offenders. And so that's also important. And then lastly, I would say it's also important to not only join organizations and learn about this issue as well, but also learn how to defend yourself and protect yourself, whether it be kind of practicing in the mirror, a couple of lines that you can say to a harasser to let them know that it's not okay that they're harassing you. So verbally preparing yourself. Then there's also, you know, you can physically prepare yourself. Like if you feel physically threatened or if someone is physically harming you, you know, there are simple things that you can do to just get out of that situation. This evening, actually, as part of the workshop that we're doing, they're actually going to demonstrate some simple self-defense techniques that you can use to actually help you escape some situations that you may encounter on the streets.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
There you go, girls. So what are some websites that these girls can reach out to get more information about this?
Definitely stopstreetharassment.org is definitely a website that has a number of resources. There's a lot of information, including some statistical information that they can tap into. So Stop Street Harassment, I would say Holla Back DC is also another big initiative that's going on. There are a lot of young girls that are taking leadership roles within Holla Back DC. Actually, there's specifically a campaign called I've Got Your Back, in which girls are actually flyering and they're doing sidewalk chalkings and really just kind of grassroots efforts to bring awareness to this issue. So Holla Back DC, Stop Street Harassment, and even like for, you know, in terms of the work that men are doing around this issue, I would definitely say the Men Can Stop Rape website is also a helpful tool.
Well, Twanisha, thank you so much
Thank you.
for being part of this initiative. It's because of women like you that this information is being put out there in front of everyone, whether they realize it's an issue or not, which it is. And so I just want to thank you for being part of the program and allowing us to interview you. Please let the people know where they can find information on your role in the organization you work for.
Great, thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. www.ywcanca.org. They could definitely look up some information there on our social justice initiatives and all the work that we're doing around racial justice and violence against women and even youth leadership development skills. We also work in that area too. So,
Thank you.
thank you.